my gosh, it's almost 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
We don't want to keep you
Staying late today.
guys forever.
Oh, no, we're fine. It's only 2:45 here.
Oh, then we don't want to stay forever. No, I'm just kidding.
Beautiful and sunny. I don't know how it is in Chicago, but we're dying over here with heat.
Well, what's the temperature, guys?
It's cold.
It's like
It's cold now.
It's cold now. It's like in the 30, 33. So 33 degrees. So actually, that's not too bad.
I think we're at 95.
Well, I really,
Yeah, I know, you can't.
I really can't do much, but other than the fact that you get to see my head for right now. But everybody else can see you. We're here. This is a group, a cadre at our Waukegan Public Schools that's working on a program called RTech, and today we're working on looking at different virtual field trips. And we hear that you guys have done a lot of work on that. Can you give us some insight to what you've done and give us some tips and hints on how we can best pursue this?
Well, we've been dabbling with Google Hangouts and some different points that Hangouts gives us, and virtual field trips is one of them. I've done a virtual field trip with my classroom, and that was like to the Galapagos Islands, and coming across them was finding posts on Twitter that people would say, hey, join this virtual field trip. And also on Google Plus, you can find where they'll post information about going and joining virtual field trips. And those they'll do just like they did with this one. We did with this one with a Hangout on Air. It'll record, so they'll actually do it live, but you can join by just going to the YouTube link, and then multiple classes can see what's going on and walk through. And then there's a nice question and answer feature on the side, so you can ask questions if you're a participating guest.
Oh, lovely. That sounds good.
It's just the hunt of finding those virtual field trip opportunities and getting those connections going. And sometimes we set one person up in the grade level, and that was like their job to go find a virtual field trip to do, because funds were limited to actually get out and get buses and funds for transportation and entrance fees. So virtual field trips through Hangouts, or if you use another sort of platform like Skype, or what was the other one that you mentioned?
Oh,
Polycom. There's other ways that you can go about if you don't use Hangouts. But is your school district a Google?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it's been seamless. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of fun. How about your students? How do you prepare your students for your Hangout? What's the what techniques do you use?
That's definitely a talk that you have beforehand, that you kind of set the expectations and the norms. We go over kind of audience behavior. What does that look like? You might assign even jobs of who's the speaker or how you're going to go about asking questions or sharing information. Just having those kind of down beforehand, even doing like a hangout with another group beforehand for practice, I think would be a good activity to do.
Oh, sounds good.
Like outlining learning goals, she was saying, kind of making some learning goals. What are we here to achieve, and let's stay on topic, and the routines for it.
Yeah. We also found that you can connect with some of your local, the field trips that you used to take locally to the courthouse or to City Hall, and we actually had teachers in our district connect with politicians and judges when they can't get out on a field trip that way. They just sent a couple emails, and usually people are happy to respond and do those virtual meetings with your students in the classroom. So that's another option as well.
Well, that sounds good. You guys have any questions that you'd like to ask, since you're new at this? And well, so am I, but they're new at it. And what are you thinking you'd like to know? Well, we've got some experts on the line. What's the youngest age group that you've worked with, and how have they responded to it?
We've had a first grade class. They did reading buddies with another class at the same school site, but it was just easier to do a hangout and try that skill of that virtual meeting with reading buddies. So they were reading the same book, and I think it was a 5th grade class could read to the 1st grade class. They could ask questions, they could talk about the pictures, and that was done whole class. So it is more still the teacher leads it, just like we're doing. They'll have 2 screens, and the teacher's the facilitator. The students are the interacting parts, and you can have that in groups with different jobs, something like that. Another thing that we've used Hangouts with is, well, a couple points. We were making a list, but we did a district-wide leadership. It's like a technology leadership meeting that is twice a year, and it's with administrators and staff members, teachers, and district level people coming in, and we come together and we have a day of going over the business side of technology, and that's how funding has come about for some of the products like our Google GAF accounts. But what we wanted was we wanted the students to be able to have a voice in sharing how technology has changed their learning environment experience. And instead of having kids being pulled out of a school and worrying about, the hours of, them leaving class or whatever it was, we set up a Google Hangout with a 6th grade class, and they were able to tap in and be able to talk to the whole group there about how technology had changed their learning experience. And it was just really neat to see, and for all of those people, the audience, to see, wow, okay, Google Hangouts can be really attainable and has a big impact when used in an educational way.
Wow, that's a great idea. Anybody? They're sitting here looking at me with these wide eyes because we're behind, but it's one of those things where you're like, I don't have any questions right now, but I'll have about 20 once we hang up, which is okay.
There's two Google communities that I think are really great to join, and that's the Mystery Hangout community, and then Google Hangouts in Education for Educators. That's a great place to just join those communities, and from there you can start making connections with different classes to join with, or even just different professions, like Lauren was saying, different professions to make connections with, so you can start doing a Google Hangout with other classes around the world, or with different teachers. Maybe you find a teacher who's very knowledgeable in an area that you want them to share. I mean, you could even co-teach in a way with teaching different subject areas or topics. So
so we have a teacher in the district, and his daughter is a science major at, I believe, UCSD, and he would come when she was local and teach science lessons in her dad's classroom. But now that she's far away in college, now they're going to use Google Hangouts so she can teach those lessons, those units for him. So
wow, that's a great idea. Well, you guys have given us a lot of ideas here. Go ahead, Carrie. Tell me more.
If you do them on air like this, it takes some kind of tries to get used to and setting up beforehand, but now they're recorded. Now they're able to be embedded into like a haiku page or a website that the teacher may have, or even just they can put it on their YouTube channel. So all these lessons, they're not a one-day thing. They can be used repeatedly, and even the kids can tap in later if they want to revisit and replay it.
That's a great idea. That's fabulous. Ladies and gentlemen, anybody else have any questions or any ideas you want to run by them now? Because I have Carrie's number, so if there's anything you want to know right now, we will be in contact and find out.
And this is how the ideas come about. The more that we just have time to talk to other areas around the world or the country, we get ideas of how we can take it to the next level to enhance the learning. So
well, definitely, because you just gave me an idea, which I'm going to run by our boss over there. But since we were able to do this, so actually it's easy once we know our equipment is up to date. Instead of having our art teachers run all over the place, maybe they can just Google Hangout with the teacher, when they're in their building, so they don't have to make the trip, and give them some advice on things they're doing. Because we're trying to pair. We're trying to increase the amount of arts in our classrooms and pair that with the use of technology. So that's what our group is working on.
Oh, just an idea. Another teacher of ours, his brother works at Disneyland, and so he was going to have his brother go behind the scenes in the animation for an art lesson, and Google Hangouts for that. So
wow, that's a great idea.
Yes, just reminding us of a lot of ideas that we have in the process of doing. So
yeah. Well, come on over here. Come here. I'm making her come over here. Put her little head in the picture. Yeah. I was just trying to get it up so I didn't split the screen, but come on over here and talk.
Do you have bilingual classrooms?
Right. Put your head
do you have bilingual classrooms?
Okay, move that over.
And that's a great thing I didn't even think about. On those Google Plus communities, you'll see posts of classrooms that are specifically asking, we're a Spanish speaking class, we'd like to join up with another class who also, so we can practice our conversation. And they'll even target like points like Valentine's. There was many classes that wanted to visit another classroom around the world that celebrates Valentine's in a different way. So you'll find posts of people that are for specific languages or specific grade levels or topics. So just even searching out those communities is a great resource to link with.
Okay.
We have a dual immersion school, so we have one school that has Spanish classes.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Thank you.
oh, so they may be somebody we can pair with.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah. Anything else for the good of the order right now, people? They're all smiling at me. Well, we're going to let you guys go. What time do you guys get out of school?
Our day ends at 3:15.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Carrie's not going home.
All right. Probably ready to go.
We got work to do.
It was so good meeting with you, and yeah, we have emails now, Nancy. So anything that you guys come up with, and we could do another Google Hangout anytime.
Okay, that would be fabulous. I really appreciate it, and we'll have this end a little more coordinated by then.
Very good.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
I want to
you.
thank you all. Thanks a lot. You too. Bye.
Seems to be 3 o'clock.